Stella.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Global Pitch Day, where visionary entrepreneurs around the world come together. I am Karina, speaking to you from Brazil. And despite my Asian appearance, my roots trace back to Japan from my ancestors. I never been to Asia. And did you know that Brazil hosts the second largest Japanese community just behind Japan itself? But now, with any more delay, let me present my co-host for today, Paulo. We are excited to guide you through this inspired journey of faith-driven entrepreneurship around the globe. Let's dive right in.
Thank you, Karina. This is so exciting. Greetings from Brazil, everyone. My name is Paulo. I'm the founder and CEO of Bluefield's Accelerator, which is connected to such a vibrant global community of faith-driven capacity builders. And many of them are here, right now. And throughout the event, you'll have the chance to learn more about each of us, about the initiatives, the impact that each of us is doing around the globe. But let me hear about you. So you that are watching us right now, where are you joining us from? Mention your city, your country, or your region in the chat. You are going to have the chance to vote on your favorite business. So you're going to join not only to watch, but also to participate, to actively participate in our event by voting your favorite business. You're going to see some of them presenting here, pitching their ideas, their businesses, their impact. So to kick things off, please share your country, and let's see. Here we have people from São José, Santa Catarina in Brazil. So please share your location. People from Atibaia, so many people from Brazil here. And among the capacity builders that are joining today, we have selected some of our most investable businesses from our respective alumni communities from 3 different continents. So this is a global event representing 6 different countries. And in South America, we got Brazil, as you probably already noticed. We got Africa, within Kenya, Mozambique, Uganda, and Egypt. And we also got Asia. So there are people now that just wake up in the middle of the night to join us to pitch and to watch this event from Mongolia. How exciting is it? So we will know more from each of us, each of the capacity builders joining us. And now, Karina, back to you.
Thank you, Paulo. Now let's briefly discuss about our agenda today. So we will begin introducing our judges that we are so happy to have with us here. And right after, we're gonna have the business pitches. And each entrepreneur will do a 5-minute presentation followed by a Q&A for our judges. After 3 pitches, the judges are going to have a short break, but you will have the chance to learn more about the capacity builders. So keep here with us, be here with us, because we're going to show their vision, impact, and even how you may connect with them after. And upon returning, we will dive into another set of 3 pitches. Then we'll move to the vote counting to select the top 3 chosen by our judges and the audience favorite. With what Paulo told us, you soon have the chance to vote for. And meanwhile, additional capacity builders will present our work. So finally, we'll announce the final results and conclude our event for today. And I get back to you, Paulo.
That is wonderful. People from Kenya, Mongolia, Mexico, Viçosa, Texas. Wow, we got India, global event here. So let's start then introducing the investors, people that actually look out for opportunities to invest, and they've been taking their time graciously to be here with us and help to judge as judges, to evaluate and to to challenge and also to share best practices with the entrepreneurs that are going to be presenting today. So we are truly privileged to have 3 of the global business experts as judges here with us, representing broader networks of investors, faith-driven investors that we deeply admire. We have Andrew Clark from Lions Den, Brady Ellis from Hero Ventures, and Richard Cunningham from Faith-Driven Investors, FDI. Thank you so much for the 3 of you joining us today. And I'd like to offer the floor, the stage for a brief welcoming message and so we're going to start with Andrew, then Brady, and then Richard to make things easier for you guys. Please.
So glad to be here. Thank you all for coming in, and thank you all for being able to put this together to be able to share so much of what the Lord is doing around the world.
Yeah, to echo what Andrew said, just really excited to get to be a part of this network. This community always amazes me as we come together with a shared goal and vision for how the Lord is transforming business in not just Kenya, where I get to sit today, but all over the world. And I'm really thankful to get to be a part of supporting this vast network of amazing people.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, maybe even good night to some of you friends. It's a privilege to be here. Richard Cunningham from Austin, Texas, and faith-driven investor. Honored to sit on this judges panel with Andrew and Brady, a couple of great friends of the broader redemptive investing movement. And it's typically here in Austin, Texas, a dry land with a lot of sunshine and a lot of heat and not a lot of rain, but the Lord's providing provision today. It is pouring rain. So if you ever get any background noise from me, that is the rain in the backdrop, but I'm grateful on the day of this really exciting, captivating event that has also taken place. So great to be here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for accepting this invite. We're so happy to have you here. And now, before we dive into the first round of business speeches, we are excited to involve our YouTube audience in this voting process. We're going to send a link in this YouTube chat. And here, we are not looking for the most promising business. The judges will do that, but there's not a competition, right? It's just to honor some of them. But we want to know your favorite, like your personal favorite. And our aim is to activate our local community, to support home ground entrepreneurs, to to them, to know that you're supporting them, you're here for them, to hear what they're doing. And with that, you can start to set like this forum for all your community, and also invite them to watch here with us, to really honor them, their courage to be here. Some of them are not English speakers like the first language, so it's really like a courage to be here with us today. But with that, I'm delighted to welcome Sana from Mongolia to kick off our pitches today. He's from Mongolia, and I think it's already 9 or 10 p.m. for him. So thank you, Sana. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello, nice to meet you. So thank you for inviting me as well, letting me participate in this event as well. So I'm very excited and a little bit nervous as well. So I guess let me just start off the presentation. So as I said, now I'm from Mongolia. Mongolia is a quite interesting country because it's sandwiched between Russia and China. It's only 3 million people, so it's a fairly small market, but I believe it's a sort of a vibrant market as well. So let me just share my slide. Oops, sorry. Okay, so my name is Sana. So I found a brand called Plus, which is, we produce household cleaning products in Mongolia. So brief history about my company. We started operation in 2017, and the total addressable market for the cleaning products in Mongolia is somewhere around $50 million USD per year. And in 2019 we participated in Shark Tank Mongolia, and we secured an investment from Shark Tank Mongolia as well. And currently we're producing basically liquid cleaning products, so that's sort of our focus on the market at the moment. And our current capacity is about 2.5 ton per day, and we are sort of working at the full capacity at the moment, And for the last few years, especially during the COVID years, our main focus was B2B business, because we had like quite a number of products, quite a number of contracts that we needed to honor. So we couldn't really expand into a B2C market, because of the logistical issues and the logistical bottlenecks, during the COVID years. So, but now since 2023, we're starting to slowly sort of make our way to B2C market, and we see our growth for the next few years is going to come from B2C market, also from the countryside, and so on and so forth. So, but overall, we have a very good relationship with all the supermarkets, and also we build a relationship with a lot of supply companies, hotels, restaurants, you name it. So we have a very good market share in B2B market, I believe. So company, we currently produce 2 tiers of products. Plus, which is our main brand, it's sort of a mid-range, very good quality, very clean-looking products that are offered to everybody. But also we have another product range, which is which is more affordable, and it can be cleaned. It can be used in a variety of cleaning situations, like cleaning the streets, or maybe car washing and wholesale cleaning, and that type of cleaning. But also, because it's affordable, a lot of people who don't have, I guess, a lot of people who don't have underprivileged people actually buy from us as well. So, which is we believe also a great thing as well. As for our team, as I said, now I have 15 years of experience in the management level, and I also worked in investment banking for a few years, and I started this business about 7 years ago. And also we have a number of experienced people. Ms. Mukhtul, who is general manager, she has a HR experience in big group of companies in Mongolia, and then Naming, who's been sort of in charge of our procurement, supply, and also she speaks Chinese, so she's been sort of helping us with the technical side of things, So, and we have Mr. Ahmed Bayer, who is sort of retail and sales advisor to our company, and also Mr. Wu Jinhua, who is a sort of Chinese expert who's helping us with developing the products and coming up with the formulas and so on and so forth. So current operation is, as I said, 2.5 tons per day, and we operate in 340 square meter building which we own, and we have 3 sales person and two delivery trucks. And as for our contribution to the society, we see our business as a mission, and we help with a lot of hospitals, and also we work closely with blood donation centers. But also, I see myself. I also conduct seminars, like personal finance seminars, to a lot of people, and part of our church services is to families. So we do a lot of family seminars, which our company supports. So that's sort of our main focus in terms of kingdom contribution. So we see ourselves as a mission-driven, family sort of oriented brand, and also service and church as well. So as you can see, our sales been growing steadily for the last 6-7 years. So we've been growing at a pace of 40% per year, and we sort of, as we expand to the B2C market, we sort of see this trajectory continuing. So our gross margin, we operated about 55%, and our net margin is about 21%, 20 to 21%. So that's sort of the sort of financial metrics we've been able to maintain for last few years, and so we hope to do that in the next coming years as well. So as for investment, we are looking for investment of up to $500,000. With this, we would like to quadruple our current capacity and grow our sales team, and also grow our output. So that's sort of the basic company in a nutshell. So I guess that's it. But just as a closing remark, we don't see ourselves as we see our company as a springboard to other markets as well, because Mongolia has a very good relationship to other Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan or Uzbekistan. So I see our company as a laboratory in Mongolia, and then we can go from this market into different markets like Kazakhstan or Central Asian market, other Central Asian markets. So that's where we are at the moment. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope to do business with you guys, and I hope to get to know you better. And yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Sana. And I invite, if you're curious about this business, you can find out more by linking. We put the link in the YouTube chat about this business, and you may also ask for a partnership with the vote link. Also, we give this opportunity. But now I want to invite our judges to our Q&A session, and please feel free to ask, and we're going to have around 10 minutes for it.
Fantastic. I think I can get us started. Thank you so much for coming and sharing about your business. I was curious if you could talk a little bit more about how you're going to be able to achieve expanding your market that fast. You talked a little bit about B2B and expanding into B2C. What are some of the main hurdles you need to overcome to make that successful and it go from, I thought I saw around 600,000 to a little bit, or like right around 2.5 million in top line turnover? if you could talk a little bit more about kind of your go-to-market strategy in that space.
Well, basically, as I said, though, our focus was in B2C the last few years now, and we still see that market growing. But also, our next goal is B2C market. And currently, just one metric is that currently we are selling in about 300 locations, and just alone in the capital city, we identified 2,000 locations which we can sell to. So that's going, as we expand to that market, but also half of the populations are in the different cities and also in different in the countryside, basically. So those market hasn't been penetrated yet. So we slowly are rolling out to. We currently have one person working in the second biggest city in Ulaanbaatar, city in Mongolia. And then we are actually just building a network of, local resellers into different towns in Mongolia. So we believe, we're gonna have, we're gonna sell in more locations, maybe 10 times from the current location, 10 times more from the current location. But also we are building a network of resellers that's gonna represent our brand and gonna drive sales. So. And it's going to take some time to build, but we think we can roll it out within the next few years, and we can probably achieve that level of growth in the process.
Fantastic. Thanks for adding some additional color.
Sure. Thank you.
When I was a child, I remember when Walmart came to our small town in a rural part of my state, and I remember even still, if I go back there, people from many miles will come in and shop there. So I understand the pull into rural markets and how a lot of people have to travel many miles to get supplies. But there's that central kind of person like a Walmart or that's helping for distribution for you into the consumer market. How are you building those relationships with distributors and retailers so that you can build up that consumer base?
Well, basically, what we're doing now is that we're sort of we've established contract with most of the big supermarket chains. So that's sort of one of our key advantages. So we've been placing our product in that. But also, just to give you a context, Mongolia. We are one of maybe like 2 or 3 local producers in Mongolia in this field. Most of the most of the cleaning products are being imported. So a lot of Mongolians have a lot of sentiment to support their local brand. So that's sort of on our side as well. So we've been able to sort of with that advantage. We've been able to establish a good contact with our. With our sellers. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It's a good point. It's helpful to know because a lot of people it's good that they know you being the local brand. The more you can reinforce that, and then they see, the more eager they are to want to use the products and support.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Andrew, that's a great question because I was going to ask about the competitive landscape, but I think you speak to that beautifully, that there's that local bias from your consumer base, which is really encouraging, and a stickiness, if you will, to the product. So I guess one of the questions I have, when you think about, the investor capital coming in, they're going to be really curious, to understand how they can get their investor capital back. And some of that might just be profitability and cash flow and dividends back to the investor. But what is, when you think of the 10-year plan, is there an exit strategy in mind? Is there, how do you think about the investor being compensated for taking this ride with you and coming alongside the journey with you?
Right. Well, as I said, our company currently, we probably just we have roughly about 1% of the market at the moment. So we think we have quite a bit of growth ahead of us. So we can do that. But also one key one exit strategy could be maybe we could list on Mongolian Stock Exchange, or maybe even going a little bit further. I've been to Kazakhstan quite a few times, and then I saw the sort of same situation with Mongolia as well. So Kazakhstan have a lot of like Russian imported products, like a lot of international products. There isn't many like a local brand, So we could even list our company on Kazakhstan Stock Exchange. I think that way, we could. I guess you could utilize exit strategy that way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sana, for showing your business and share with us and have the courage to be here with us. And I'm going to invite now the judges to fill the form that I sent before, but I'm resending here for you too. And while they are filling this form, I would like to invite Sandy from Uganda to get ready. So just open here your camera and sound. We can do this check while they are filling this form. And also we're gonna share here your presentation.
Thank you, Karina.
Let me just check if we can. With your tech team, is everything right here? And we're gonna just wait a little bit for our judges because that's gonna help them to choose after the top 3. Is everything right? And while we are waiting, please feel free to share. Remember that we have like this vote for all our network. This is the audience favorite. So please feel free to share with as possible. Perfect, Sandy. When you want to start, feel free. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Karina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Ejang, and I'm the CEO of Western Silk Road Limited under the brand Asali Wamoyo. I lost my mother at the age of 4, so I grew up with my grandmother, who was a farmer. She practiced mixed farming, and one of the things she had was 2-3 hives. It was in a garden, and my fondest childhood memories remind me of honey. So when I had an opportunity to get started in beekeeping, I did not hesitate. I felt like God was literally calling me. So at Western Silk Road, we work with smallholder farmers to sustainably develop an inclusive market between agriculture and trade through investment in the entire beekeeping value chain. So Uganda is estimated to have a production potential of over 100,000 metric tons of honey annually, but is currently producing only a fraction of that, 14%. This is largely due to rudimentary beekeeping practices, and this is also because of the aggressive nature of the African bees. Most of these farmers cannot afford protective gear for beekeeping, and also hives are costly, so most of them can't afford that to invest in beekeeping. And our value proposition is more than honey. Our value proposition is providing the farmers with a microfinance in the form of hives, providing them with beekeeping training, and importantly, increasing household income. And this is how it works. We train our farmers. Well, we group them first. We train them, provide them with microfinance in the form of hives, and these hives are paid back for with a percentage of harvested honey. We then provide agronomical support, process the honey, add value to it, package, and sell. Next slide. Next slide. Hello? Okay, so our revenue model is from honey sales, and as you can see, our profit margins are over 40%. I can't see the slides. Our competitive advantage is based on traceability and visibility. So our company is 99% bootstrapped, and in as much as we've been able to grow, our growth is still limited because we don't have enough visibility. And over the years, our traction to date has been, we have been able to impact over 1,660 smallholder farmers. Our revenue has grown, and this is all over Uganda. Our revenue has grown from $25,000 in 2020 to $65,000 in 2022. And we retail our products in 15 supermarkets in Uganda, one of them being the largest chain supermarkets, Carrefour. Our ask is, I can't see the slides. Our ask is $70,000, and we, next slide, please. Okay, $70,000, and we intend to train an additional 100 farmers. Would really like to train trainers of trainers. If we train trainers of trainers, we'd be able to reach more people, because after training them, then they can go to their various communities and train other people. We'd also like to purchase machinery. We are experiencing a lot of loss during our production and processing because of lack of digitization and high-tech processing machinery. Also, we need $20,000, and this will be used for development of sales strategies. We intend to get into the mass market, and that is why we need a honey sachet packaging machine. In order to get into that market, we need to develop strategies to reach the various hotels. We'd also like to hire maybe a more competent manager. I'm a strategist, so half of the time I feel like I would have to clone myself so that I could also do maybe marketing and all that additional work. So we'd need that as well, and then would like a better traction method that is not just for finances, but also for our procurement process. And our steps moving forward, by the end of 2024, if we got funding, would be able to increase our revenue from $65,000 to $100,000. We would want to train an additional 100 smallholder.
Hey, I think we have some tech issues, but let me just invite Juliet. Are you here with us? I've seen you. She is walking with Sandy the whole time, and just to while we just wait to see if everything is working with Sandy. If you want to tell just a little bit how it's been walking with her and things that you've seen, that it would be good to us to hear from you. Could you share a little bit with us, please?
Thanks, Karina. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. As you may have heard from Sandra, this is an organization that has had some traction over the years. It's been an honor working with Sandra over the last 2 years. One of the things that we just want to highlight is the potential that they have currently when they go into the mass market production of the sachet honey, which will actually increase not just the production, but production based on consumption. And for that to happen, like Sandra has mentioned, there is need for an investment into that honey packaging machine. And one of the critical issues is also to ensure that they are able to certify their products, especially for the export market, with the potential that they have currently. Sandra is working with a number of farmers with an increase in that direction in terms of her smaller holder farmers, and that gives us hope even when it comes to job creation. I think she's getting on the line right now, but that's what I wanted to share. Thank you, Karina.
Thank you, Julie.
Sandy, you are back. If you want to just conclude your presentation here, and then we're gonna jump into the Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much. So our roadmap is by the end of 2024, we'd like to have increased our revenue from $65,000 to $100,000, train an additional 100 smallholder farmers, but there'll be trainers of trainers who will then transfer this knowledge to their other community members, and this should have a very big impact. We'd also like to set up a modern processing facility by 2026 and grow our revenue to $500,000. And by 2027, we want to have our product certified and ready for export. And we will have onboarded over 10,000 smallholder farmers. So our team is comprised of 4 core members. There's Sandra Ejang. I have experience working with a grassroots organization, experience of over 10 years. We have Alex Elobu, whose background is in medicine, but is interested in nutrition, food supplementation, and wellness, but also has over 10 years experience in the apiculture sector. We have Alison Nakalembe, who is our bee expert. She has a bachelor's degree in animal production technology. And we have Winnie, who is in charge of sales and marketing. Our impact to date is we have been able to reach over 1,660 smallholder farmers, indirectly impacting over 10,000 people. And we have improved household income by over 800,000 Uganda shillings. That's an equivalent of about $250. The farmers are paid fairly, higher than the average market price. There is improved pollination among the yields, and also another.
Hey, I think we have some tax issues again, but this is real world, guys. Yes, I don't know what it's harder. We tried to do a hybrid way in the beginning of this year, and it was hard too because in person we have other tech issues, but also in here online we have other issues. But that's right. I think we can just check with her if her internet is working well, and if she come back soon, we can jump into the Q&A session. But while we checking, yeah, I think she was just ending her presentation here. So while we wait for her, so I'm gonna jump into to Egypt. To Joseph could share his presentation too, and then we do a really quickly recap to do the Q&A session with her. That's all right, right? So please, Joseph, are you with us here from Egypt?
Good morning, guys.
In fact, you're in Canada right now, right?
I'm in Toronto area of Canada, in Ontario. But yeah, I'm probably going back to Egypt next week again. I fly a lot, so.
Perfect. So the stage is yours. Please just check if everything is right. Share your presentation, and when it's right, you're free to go.
Well, Sandy's coming back in. Do you want to give her a chance to do Q&A for her before starting, since she's coming back in?
Let's try it. Sandy, are you with us here? Could you hear us?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
That's fine. We're gonna jump into the Q&A session with you. If you are able to hear us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. So I'm gonna invite Richard, Andrew, and Brady to this Q&A session, praying for the internet work for this next 10 minutes.
I hope so.
Yeah, Sandra, I'll hop in and get us started. I put these in the chat as well, but now that we've got you back, would be glad to have you speak to them this way. But so business model relies heavily on, word of mouth and just kind of that stickiness and traction of the word spreading to your farmers. What does the plan look like going forward to scale even more rapidly? How do you keep the farmers talking about this? How do you spread, to even more farmers? And on the other side of that, are you all at Western Silk Road going back and collecting feedback in terms of, hey, what was that experience like working with you all? Are you getting any type of net promoter score or some amount of feedback that you all can use to improve upon as you go and reach the 10,000 farmers from just the what's already incredible, the 1,600 you've worked with?
Yes, and so in the beginning, and that was, until last year, there was very good feedback, but the women were complaining that for every time they would get paid, the men would take their money, so they would have very little left to work with. And in these communities, the women are the one responsible for paying tuition for the children. So we came up with an additional plan of providing school fees loans instead of hives. So these are people that we've already provided the hives to, but now additionally we provide them with school fees, and the school fees is paid back for still with a percentage of the harvested honey. We've realized that the model works very well for them because their biggest challenge was really market access, not necessarily the lack of hives, because the NGOs would take the hives to them, provide training once, and then they would have nothing after that. So if the hives don't get colonized, you'd find that they get the hives from wherever they are and use them for storage. Others would just get the honey and eat it. So yes, we have we have all this feedback, but one of our biggest challenges is also keeping track of it. If we had maybe a better tool of keeping traction, because the farmers are all over the country, we can only do so much because we are also small and we're a bit we're a bit disadvantaged. I hope that answers the question.
It does. Thank you. That's very real feedback, and I appreciate the ways you all pivoted with the feedback that's come in, inspiring the ways you've recognized one of the main problems and figured out school fees as opposed to maybe paying in a different way.
Yeah, thank you.
Along those lines, I'd like to know, from how I'm understanding, you're not only providing the means for them to have the production, but then you're giving them an outlet to be able to sell the production, so they can get more to come in than just that personal honey from the hive. So give me a sense, what do you feel is the main product or offering that you're providing for them? Because in some ways I see you're providing the farming, the means. I'm calling it farming, but I know it's not necessarily that with the honey. Then it's the money from selling into the market, but you're also providing microfinance services, as you said. So what do you feel is like the key component to be able to help you grow and scale, even though you're still constrained right now as it is?
I think if we had processing equipment, the beautiful thing about beekeeping is the farmers are able to get more than one product. Now, the farmers that we work with, the modern hives don't really work very well with our Ugandan bees. We've realized over time that the local hives work way better than the modern hives. So with the local hive, during harvest, you're going to get propolis, which is of very high value. You're going to get beeswax, and you're going to get honey. Now, we buy everything, and half of the time we are stuck with this product because we don't have good enough processing, but there's potential for it, there's market for it. Unfortunately, we just have it here. Now, this also means that the farmers are earning three-way from just the beekeeping. So processing would be the entry point, but after the processing, would like to also increase the capacity of the farmers.
That's good insight on the local honey. We find that at our local honey is a lot better and easier to cultivate. So that's a great point on that, and also the multiple byproducts. It sounds like you are able to. It sounds like you're able to help them distribute their honey and bring it to market a lot more easily. So that thank you.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about your processing of the products and how you work in that space. What are the big challenges that you're facing right now in processing, and are there any big challenges you see in the future that you're going to have to overcome to get that certification status so that I can buy your honey at my Carrefour here in Kenya?
Okay, so in regards to the processing right now, we use a very manual honey press, and that is actually the only processing equipment that we have. Instead of using stainless steel buckets that we can't afford, we are using the plastic kind. And you find that when you do this, there's a lot of wastage. You spend so much time. For example, in the last 2 months, Carrefour has increased their orders by over 150%. But Instead of us delivering in time, you'll find that it's going to take us about 2 weeks to complete one delivery. So we do very, very minimal processing. It's just the pressing it and sieving and then packaging.
And
Actually,
will that? Oh, go ahead.
locally, we already have the local certification because they also see where we're coming from. I think they recognize the efforts that we're putting into the work. But if we were able to maybe process it better and have better equipment, we would probably be able to get to the point of even sending it up to Kenya.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And so like that additional equipment is going to help get over that next certification step is the hope?
We believe so.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you,
I would
Karina.
like to invite our judges to fill the form. It's just to refresh and fill it again. But while they are finishing like the evaluation form, Alice, she made a question. She asked it in our YouTube chat, and I would like to ask you while they're finishing, and then we're gonna jump into Joseph again. So she asked if you can pay fees directly to the schools, and she said like save them and you in meeting their need and safeguards the loan through recovery directly from sources. So if the question is if you you can pay fees directly to schools, if you and tech guys, if you could put here center with me in this.
Thank you, Karina. Yes, we pay the school fees directly to the school because, again, if we gave the school fees to the women, the men would take it.
So it's direct.
So we pay to the school and provide the mothers with a receipt for payment, and then they refund us the money when they harvest their honey.
Wow, that's a super impactful thing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna jump into Joseph to check if it's everything right, and then after they finish.
Let me know when you want me to start sharing the screen.
You can already share your screen to be ready.
All right, you can see my screen?
Yes, it's everything perfect. Just hold on a second. Oh, and also if any other person want to do a question for Joseph too, that we can ask him in the end here, please feel free to do this in YouTube chat because we wanted that you could also interact with us here during this event.
Just let me know when you want me to start.
Yeah, I'm just checking in here, but just a second, I think we're gonna start. And I think you're founder or worker here with us in Microsoft Teams too. And if you want to join the Q&A sessions after that, just free to be here with us. Just waiting for the lessons, or then we're gonna start. Okay, Joseph, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you. So, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having us here. Today I'm here presenting for DentaQuick, e-commerce company located in Egypt right now. Hopefully we can go through this as quickly as possible because I know we're behind on schedule and we can have more time for Q&A. So just a quick overview about DentaQuick. We started with the idea back in June 2020 and started planning for it and soft launching it in 2021. We took it from there. Our vision is basically to be the largest e-commerce solution in the dental field in Egypt and the Middle East as we grow. And we want to be able to do this with great customer service, great pricing, and with our Christian values of doing business, which is not something that's very abundant in Egypt, and definitely not in this field. Everything from the actual products being done properly and the accounting, taxes, everything like that. So that's part of our core vision and mission. We offer a lot of different types of things, but of course our core bread and butter is the online ordering e-commerce platform, but we also help clinics that want to start up. We will consult with them and help them get set up for equipment and supplies and consumables and everything else. We have different revenue streams, of course, our online ordering set, but we also have customers that just come back to us over and over again, and we also have chain customers, which are large hospitals and clinic chains across the country that we became basically their procurement platform for, instead of having a whole procurement department, by using DentaQuick, instead of having to deal with 100 different vendors for lots of different products, they just come to DentaQuick as their one-stop shop for everything they need from equipment and from consumable supplies, and of course, clinic setups. Just to give you a market size number of dentists, for example, right now there's about 76,000, but with the amount of universities graduating dentists, they're growing by almost 10,000 a year, which is a huge influx into the market. It is right now classified from equipment and supplies about $1 billion in Egypt alone in terms of annual market size. I'm going as fast as I can here, but so just to give you a quick overview, as we grew through the business, when we started soft launching and the trajectory we're on, we've been doubling year over year, basically, and our H1 numbers came in for this year for the first 2 quarters. And again, our first 2 quarters this year are greater than all of 2022. So again, we're about doubling when you look at it quarter over quarter or year over year. We're very blessed to have that. It beat our expectations, honestly. At the end of 2022, we thought we were going to have 2,000 dentists using DentaQuick. We actually had 4,000. Right now, of course, the number has grown significantly since then. Our biggest reach out happens through social media and through word of mouth. Those are our 2 biggest client grabbers. And of course, setting up deals and contracts with chains also is a big part of our business. And we're entering a new market right now with different universities to try and get those students right while they're still students, to get their supplies they need during university time. So we're able to make them DentaQuick customers early on. Just some marketing and client pool kind of hints. This is not fully up to date till October, but it's showing you some of the numbers in terms of our outreach and dashboard and Facebook and Instagram. Just a bit of competition. So there's currently really only 3 players in this market in Egypt. It's a very young market hasn't even come close to maturity. All 3 companies combined don't even do about 5% of the market. Still, the notion to go physically to stores and buy supplies and equipment still is the dominant theme amongst dentists and clinics, but that's changing, of course, because the whole world is changing and Egypt, of course, is changing with that. And e-commerce is definitely something that's changing and growing there. So there's ones that do have bigger market share, but don't do as good of customer service. Some that are really don't know what they're doing, kind of thing. But currently, we're considered 2nd or 3rd place, depending on the metrics, out of those online players. But we're definitely the highest growing and quickest growing across different players in the market. And what's coming next too is showing that, because we've been able to secure certain very lucrative deals with the syndicate, where we're able to bundle our products when they order certain exclusive item from the dentistry syndicate, which was a big win for us last month. That's setting us up for great success for the next few years. So DentaQuick, we were able to bring in better prices for the dentists and better customer service. They one-stop shop, like I mentioned. So these are kind of the selling points to the clinics and to the dentists themselves. And we have shown over and over again that our customer service is actually what wins us people. Some of our biggest clients, you can see right here, some hospitals, some big chains. We can talk about that later. What our ask is, we're asking for $500,000 right now. This is kind of the distribution of what this money would go for. This is a cash flow intensive business due to the nature of payment terms, the way they work, more than anything else. There are secure payment terms, but it ends up being very cash flow heavy, and this is what we have to carry a lot with. And of course, reinvesting in our technology, growing our app and our website, because we have both iOS, Android apps, and our website as a way of accessing our products, and also growing the team. We're 15 plus right now, but we want to grow it even more. Just some small upgrades in our office and fulfillment to be able to have quicker turnaround and better, and maybe start storing a bit more products to have quicker turnarounds for like SNAP items. Quick overview of the team. Ramon Jacob is our CEO of the company. He is the person on the ground day in, day out, blood, sweat, and tears from day one. He's on the call with us as well, and he takes care of the day-to-day operations. Aniolash, he's our third partner. We actually know each other all from church, actually, and surfed together for many years. He inherited a business from his father, and the family business is actually a major dentistry business in Egypt for the last 30 plus years. They're one of the largest importers, Ackerstone importers of products, from simple things like gloves to major things, and brings a lot of value and experience from the team and from the field itself, and also allows us some exclusivities and some items, which also has good traffic to us by being able to offer that. And myself, Joseph, I'm involved in several businesses in Canada and in Egypt, across going back and forth quite a bit. So yeah, try to go as quick as I can to try and cover it, but I'm open for questions for sure. Hope I didn't speak too quickly.
Thank you so much, Joey. We're gonna send his website also if you want to know a little bit more and if you have questions. We're gonna do this after the Q&A, but now I would like to invite our judges to ask any questions you want. Thank you, Joe.
Yes, I have a question on, you mentioned one of my first questions in this when I was thinking about it was, how are the dentists paying? So when you mentioned payment terms, that was a big help for me in understanding it. Walk us through what that looks like, because from what I understand too, that could cause some compression. So I'd love to know more about that.
Yes, of course, it does cause compression. So there's several ways a dentist or a clinic can pay. So the first one is cash on delivery. There are some that utilize that, especially ones that don't have credit with us yet, right? But they're only doing small orders, testing us out, trying us out. Those are not people who are getting credits. Loyal clinics, the ones that are coming in month after month, are generally getting dated to end of month. Like we'll do monthly statements for them. So very much 30-day dating on that. And then we have larger chains that we're basically their procurement department. Those ones will typically go 60 to 90 days, which is the cash crunch in itself because of that. There is an option also that we offer for equipment. So not for consumables, but like say they're buying big X-ray machines for tens or hundreds of thousands. We have partnered with some microfinancing companies in Egypt that can help do that installments for them. We generally get our money from the company on a 30-day statement, like net 30, but the customer themselves can go 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. So we've partnered for that. It lowers our margin slightly, but it allows us to be able to move these kinds of larger equipment by facilitating that, collaborating with those financing companies. So yeah, that's pretty much the biggest thing. The other end of things, again, as we're growing, we're building credit with our vendors. So some are able to give us like 15 days, some or maybe a couple are giving us 30, but most are still cash on delivery for our input of things from the vendors. So this is where the cash crunch happens. As we grow, we've been better at negotiating on the other side. So as long as it's close, we're able to easily do it. But it is the pain of growing so quickly, is that it's the cash flow crunch.
Do you know what your competitors are doing on their terms, specifically for the larger clients that are going at these 30 net 30 and net 60 days?
We're part of us getting those contracts is the net 60 on with the larger clients, because it helps move their cash flow as well. So we're kind of cash flowing some of them, but they're quite large. They're quite some of the larger ones, and they, because of their size, they can do that. They can ask for that and get it. But we want to get the business because it helps us with our vendors to get better pricing when we do the volumes and everything.
Do you know if your competitors are offering those similar terms, or are they
No. Some of them have come to net 45, but nobody's come to net 60, and that's part of one of our biggest clients. We've been able to do it, but also they've tried them before, and they don't have the same customer service and turnaround time that we have. And we babysit. And also another big advantage I forgot to mention is we have dentists on staff, which the other competitors do not have. What ends up happening with that is there's a lot of market shortages and a lot of, as you know, logistical nightmares that's been happening the last few years. What our dentists are able to do are able to identify proper alternatives for these clinics and dentists that we're able to say, you know what, you ordered this, it's not available, it's back ordered, but as a dentist, I'm recommending that you could use this instead. So this has given us quite a competitive advantage as well, having dentists on staff.
Yeah, hop in, Joseph. Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
Brady, please.
Go ahead. I was going to ask briefly about the customer relationship, just to get into that a bit deeper. What percentage of the market, as far as like total dentists, do you feel like you've been able to access? And then what portion of their spend that you could fulfill are you typically fulfilling for each customers? Are customers using multiple distributors, or are they, when they're with you, are they fully local to your product and what you're doing?
What we've seen, generally speaking, is customers take baby steps. They'll try us, they'll try some of our other competitors, they'll order and see how it comes, how it's packaged, quickness, actual availability, and substitutions and everything like that. And they'll start off, our average order size, for example, is like 3,500 Egyptian pounds, but our customer acquisition is like 60, so it's pretty good. They'll try us out at the small ticket items, and then as they see our service, they start growing. I think to answer your question about how many dentists we have in our database, of the total dentist database, we're talking about 5%. Like I said, the market is still there's so much potential. And right now, though, because in Egypt, aesthetics for dentistry are regulated through a single source due to issues that happened during COVID, that run by the actual syndicate, like the actual government. We've been able to broker a deal with them last month, where when dentists order that product specifically from them, they're given the option to add products using DentaQuick's product base. We're piloting right now with the core 50-60 most popular items, but that has shown us a huge influx of new dentists that have never heard of us. This is another way of reaching them, because they have to get this product from the syndicate or from the government agency. They're trying to bundle. We're saying, you're already paying for shipping for that product, get this along with free shipping, because we basically bulk ship to the warehouse of the syndicate, and then it ships out with that product. So that's our biggest, like our latest biggest win, and it's one of the biggest drivers of revenues over the next year, because they have access to at least 50,000 dentists. So that's 10x what we're doing, right? So we're expecting a lot more influx there, and as we add more products, and we're working on a technology piece, APIing with them, so it's not just a manual process, direct API with the website to be able to do that addition. So it takes a few months, as you know, for some technology pieces like that, but we see huge potential with that kind of collaboration and broker deal that we did.
Yeah, and how long does your typical what's your retention looking like right now for your customers when they join your platform and system?
So there's two categories of customers. There's ones that come to us just because there's a shortage and they're looking for that one product, so they got to get it from anywhere. I'm calling those outliers, because we're not going to measure them. They're not coming to try online e-commerce. They're just trying to get a product. So if we remove those outliers, our retention is over 75%.
Joseph, did I hear correctly that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go.
We can keep this quick, but did I hear correctly that average first order is 3,500 Egyptian pounds and the customer acquisition cost for that dentist is typically only 60?
So our customer acquisition cost is actually 57. That's if you want to get to the nitty gritty of it. But the 3,500, of course, that's not our profit, but of course that's the ticket price. That's the average order size. But yes, when we calculate our marketing spend and everything on that, our CSE on that is 57 pounds.
Really neat. And I guess the last question I'd have is just kind of taking it a whole different direction outside the business model. Is like when you think about kingdom impact here, how do you and the other founders, know you guys have connected through church and outside of just being excellent in your business practices, would be curious to hear how you guys are thinking about just advancing God's kingdom through this.
So there's three angles to this that we generally talk about. First one has to do with our business practices being clean. I know that might sound like nothing groundbreaking, but it is. Being able to do things above board, clean, not cheating on our taxes and not playing around games with suppliers and paying our bills, like all that stuff is actually not the norm. And by doing that, we're setting an example of what it means to run that. And like both Henny and I have other businesses in Egypt as well, and we've proven that this can be successful. Yes, you'll pay more taxes. Yes, it cuts into your margins, but you know what? You're not doing it for that. You're doing it because you want to set a model and example. You want to be able to show it not just to the public, but starting with your staff. And that's our second point, our team. Our team is mixed, of course, and not just Christians, but they're mixed between Muslims and Christians. And they see us because almost all of them pretty much worked at other companies, and they see what they do and how they think and how they plan on cheating people in general, one way or another. It could be from simple things. It doesn't have to be like tens of thousands, but it's the way you think about it, right? And our team gets that mentality from the leadership and the management where, no, we don't do that. We go above and beyond. We show respect. We and we invest in our team to build them as proper ambassadors for the company, to show that. And also for them personally and their impact, which is the third angle. Like there's I remember sitting in a meeting working with a big chain, and they're like, this is too good to be true. Nobody just does clean stuff like this. I was like, this is our morals and our values that we built on, and you'll see. And they've tried this, and I've sat down with a follow-up meeting with them, and they're like, we couldn't believe when you sat down, because everybody can say good words. When it comes to action, it's garbage. And we showed them that not only good to our word, but we're honest, we're truthful, we're transparent, we're showing our Christian values. In a Muslim country like Egypt, we can't specifically say the word Christian values, but we would say our morals and values, and it's quite obvious we're Christians for a lot of different reasons, culturally wise. So we're showing that from that kind of impact, and of course, reinvesting in the kingdom. Like I said, all three of us have been in ministry, and we've known each other for over 15, 16 years. Henny and I were leading small, young adult meetings and everything for many years together, and Ramon grew through that at our church, and we've known each other since 2007, 2008. So it's quite a bit.
We'll press on, brother. I think of Matthew 5:16 when you break it down that way. And so congratulations on the traction. Thanks for that answer.
All right. Thanks, guys. If you have any further questions, let me know afterwards, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, the judges, for this time here together. And just to remind you, now we're gonna have a short break for the judges, but you that are watching us here, please take a moment to watch a video. We're gonna share a video from Synapis to understand a little bit about the behind the scenes. And even after all these tech issues, we are tracking with our agenda. So we're gonna end at maximum at 4 p.m. UTC. So thanks God, everything is working. So I just would like to ask our judges to fill the form and take a short break to drink some water and relax a little bit while we jump into this showcase about the Synapis and Unleash, this first break that we're doing now. And after that, we're gonna talk a little bit more about also Brazil, Mozambique, and oasis from Egypt. So please, if the tech staff could share the Synapis video, we'll be happy to watch with all of you.
Our mission at Synapis is to make disciples and alleviate poverty through the power of entrepreneurship. Our name, Synapis, is the Latin word for mustard seed, and Jesus at 3 times in the Gospels compared the kingdom of God to this smallest seed, which when it grows can become the largest plant in the garden. And he says something really interesting, that when that plant grows and becomes mature, the birds of the air come and make nests in the branches. We think one really exciting way to understand that is that as entrepreneurs that have been gifted by God to grow profitable companies, fulfill that calling that he has given them, these companies provide rest and economic sustainability to families throughout a community. These entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs by choice, not by necessity. And they come to us recognizing that they often have gaps in their skills which may prevent them from seizing the opportunity that their venture could present. So we provide them with rigorous business training and acceleration services. This is practical, it's designed for immediate application. There are no exams, there are no papers. These are things that they need to take their company to the next level. More than that, we also invite them into long-term alumni communities where they can provide peer-to-peer mentorship, where they can do business together, where they can help one another solve problems as the complexity of their business grows over time. We also provide discipleship services in our training, but also in that ongoing alumni network, inviting people to follow Christ for the first time, or if they're already a follower of him, how they learn to grow and integrate kingdom principles into their company. And then for the highest potential companies, we offer ongoing coaching, advisory, and connection to capital. As these incredible game changers within their societies grow these companies, they create and sustain jobs, which we believe is the best way to alleviate poverty. They grow and increase their influence in the society to fight corruption and have an influence for the kingdom in a broader sense. And then lastly, as they're going and living out their faith with integrity and authenticity in the market, they can make disciples so that others can follow Christ as they go. We believe that these men and women have been placed by God inside emerging market nations all over the world to be game changers to solve problems from the inside out.
Fantastic. Yes, and this is how a lot of things have started throughout the Synapis Global Network, which all capacity builders that you're going to meet here, and you already met some of us we are part of. And then I would like to extend an invitation to Joseph and Juliet to share a brief transformational story they presented in Kenya and Uganda. Please, Juliet and Joseph, join us.
Thank you so much. Bola, my name is Joseph Wekesa. I'm from Kenya. I work as the Alumni Engagement Manager in East Africa. Great to be here.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Paulo. It's a pleasure being here and being a part of this Global Pitch event. This is something that is core to what we get to do. I have been asked to probably share about the amazing work or the impact we've seen over the period of time. I think previously we shared a story about the person that has actually just been pitching today as one of our entrepreneurs. And one of the things that we get to note a little comes from who we've actually said we are as Synapis. That we get to see entrepreneurs walk through the Synapis doors with just seeds of ideas, but when they are supported and equipped with the right tools, these seeds actually become businesses that are creating impact in the communities they are in. Imagine if we got to work with thousands of the Sandras, of the Josephs, and all the other people that we've had to pitch this afternoon or this morning. And that's literally what Synapis believes. That is how we are going to transform communities. These are businesses that are creating jobs in the communities that they are in, and together we get to alleviate poverty through entrepreneurship. Thank you, Paul and Karina. I hand it over back to you.
Thank you so much, Joseph and Juliet. Karibu, it's been a pleasure working together with you and walking together with all of you from Africa in the last couple of years. It's been have been some years, right? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this global faith-driven entrepreneurship tour. This is a global tour on what God is doing throughout entrepreneurship. We've been to Mongolia, Uganda, Egypt. There's so much more to happen. We're also going to visit Mozambique, Brazil, and Kenya without leaving home or wherever you are. Isn't it amazing? We can do it through technology. Let's now jump to Unleash, and let's hear more about what's happening in Mongolia. Laura, who, my friend?
All right.
Please join us.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, I'm just grateful for this global movement. Sometimes, we just work in our own box and our own territory, and we just think that we're the only one fighting this battle. And then this moments like this and events like this just is so encouraging to see that people are building capacities. There's hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs are doing building their ventures and try to honor God. So it's just such a great honor to be here and share our stories. I'm a founder. My name is Balar Hulikton. I'm founder of Asia Leadership Development Network. This network existed in last 7 years, not too long, but with the mission of impacting the emerging leaders in different spheres of influence to transform the nation for Mongolia. We felt like, it's good that church is growing, but for many years, because we're first generation Christian, gospel is new. There's not many people talking about faith and work. Entrepreneurship, that's probably one of the last places to talk about integrating faith. So we feel like our community needs to, a lot of leaders needs to be challenged on this area. That's how we started our organization. In a whole that we do 4 boxes of items, strategy, faith and work, entrepreneurship, and then leadership development, also mercy and justice work with the poor, self to poor, and then also technology. We run a couple apps and learning platform publishing. All in all of this is we want to let people know that, hey, our God is a redeemer. He's also reviewed as a communicator. He's a provider. He's creator. He is the king. He's revealed as teacher. And his characteristic can seen through all this project. And then we want to display that so that his name can be known, and not only through just proclamation, but is actually seen in reality in tangible way. The country of Mongolia struggle with poverty, sustainability, lack of opportunities, and injustice. And corruption is a big problem. We have bad neighbors, stewardship problem, long-term wealth creation in faith community is a challenge. Can you imagine if the money or wealth and support is stopping coming from America and South Korea to Mongolia? Literally 90% of ministries and mission activity will stop. And that's not good for long-term for Mongolian church to self-sustain. That's very hard to think about. And I believe, in our team at Unleash, we believe, God uniquely created everyone in his image. That includes gift and talents for everyone. And particularly entrepreneurs are this slice of body of Christ has a high risk tolerance, and their ability to create, the ability to solve problems, ability to look at certain issues, to be part of the redemptive cause, that is not being really encouraged, and that's not being unleashed. So Unleash Ecosystem Builder exists to see the potential of aspiring business leaders and entrepreneurs in developing region to meet the need of their community, to fight poverty, and bring lasting changes to others around them. How do we do it? Basically, we build healthy and effective leaders, and not only through leaders, but also help them to build teams and ventures through our summit, event, entrepreneurship academy, accelerator program, content coaching, and mentorship network, and even strategic capitals. So we call it 5C: content, curriculum, and community, coaching, and capital. These are a few things that we do to kind of help our ecosystem to grow. Our last 5 years have been doing this. Our collective impact has been, our content has reached over 1 million people every year. That's through social media, podcasts, Bible plans, and app we run. Because if you want to talk about entrepreneurship, you can't just work with entrepreneurs alone. You have to speak about this as a norm. So we produce a lot of content, make the church, make the leaders, even make non-believers to understand Christianity from a different lens. So content does a lot of that for marketing and helping us people to know that. And also bring community for gatherings. You know, if you want to do entrepreneurs they're already in a battle by themselves. It's lonely and burnout, a lot of issues. We want to do Asia is a collective culture place. We want to build a community that celebrate them. They don't need to do it alone. They have bodies. They can find co-founders. They can recruit people. So Unleash Summit also does that. We have been gathering 1,400 plus people in the last 4 years at our summit. 1,000 plus people attended our various webinar and trainings. 140 entrepreneurs graduated our early stage Aspire Launchpad programs. 7 times we've done pitch event in the last 3 years. 40 plus new businesses launched, and 8 growth stage entrepreneurs are going through growth stage program. 800 plus people attended faith and work gathering, and 500 to 600 Mongolian faith-driven entrepreneurs around the world are connected. This is beyond Mongolia. We're also working with Mongolian entrepreneurs in China, also Mongolian entrepreneurs here in diaspora, in America, but also in South Korea and Europe. 20 plus local mentors and 20 plus international mentors served our entrepreneurship ecosystem. Let's imagine together what the future of this nation can be when 1,000 aspiring entrepreneurs can do with their identity and calling affirmed. Their passion and redemptive imagination and potential will be released for the kingdom. At last, you know, because we are working in a very young nation. Many of you might not know Mongolia 30 plus years ago is considered unreached and unchurched place. So everything we've seen in Christian activity, in kingdom building, including our organization being part of that little piece of that, it's all happening in the last 30 years. So we need a lot of prayers for not only our organization, pray for entrepreneurs and their ventures that they serve in our network. If you have a heart for mission and expertise in coaching, have heart on mentoring and entrepreneurs, consider, help us and consider join us. Please, reach out to us. We would love to work with you and expand the kingdom of God through redemptive entrepreneurs. Together, build redemptive businesses, create jobs, elevate poverty, fuel the growth of local faith community, generosity movement, also gospel witness, and transform the culture. I finish with the last quote. Chewy Cathy, founder of Chick-fil-A, said, "It's better to build a boys than men." And therefore, we have a crucial and golden opportunity to transform the nation of Mongolia for Christ together. Thank you so much. You can, if you want to know more about us, you can find us here.
Thank you so much, Bartler, to sharing with us. And it's so interesting to know what is happening behind the scenes, right? And thank you so much for Synapse and Unleash for sharing. And before we move to our second round of pitches, we still have 3 more pitches to listen and watch. I want to emphasize that the audience favorite business vote is still ongoing. And I received around 10 or 15 votes, but we wanted them like more people we could reach to support our business. So encourage your friends, family, community to join us here and vote to their favorite pitch, please. We're gonna resend the link on the chat. And now I would like to invite Manuel from Mozambique to do his speech now, his presentation. Manuel, are you here with us? The stage is yours. I'd like to invite you to present.
Hi, good day. My name is Manuel Vernish, founder and manager director from SVT. We are health and safety expertise. Hi, everybody. We are working.
Manuel, we are not seeing your presentation yet, so if you could share your screen first, please.
Okay.
Yes, now it's working.
Here we go. Thank you.
Go.
Once again, my name is Manuel Vernish from Mozambique, founder, manager director from SVT Consulting. We are health and safety expertise. Everybody here are working in different industries. Am I right? What is our guarantee that we will back to our wonderful and blessed family safely? A couple of years ago, on the biggest company in Mozambique, had an accident. That has a fatal accident caused by death on employee. So we think about the question, what we can do for them. Employee, for them, the employee, family, stakeholder, investor who want to protect their business, avoid the risk and reputation and loss. In this stake, we serve them in professional, genuine way, advising them our product, offering our service as well. On this way, the problem which we try to solve is giving them the solution in terms of health and safety. That is our valued client. We have got a database for 33 clients, but we are focused on LNG and mine industry. That is what our some experience from our customer. I want to mention as well, our revenue come for 30% of business repeat. The client are feeling happy. We have got experience when we start the business up to now. We are still continuing sell to the same client. Why now? Timing is everything. We are capitalizing a favorable trends and market condition for favoring our company. Our product overview is training, PPE, and consulting. Company traction. In terms of oil and gas, our market is 44%. Non-governmental companies are 16%, and other companies are 36%. Our total addressable market is for HSC training is 4,500. PPE miscellaneous is 200,850, and MSCI product is 650,000. Our competitive advantage. The big difference with our competitor, we don't have a big promise. We have only an office, and they have a shop with sample, but we are trying to get their client because our strategy is a B2C. Our revenue growth over the past 3 years, from 2021 up to 2023, we expect to grow 19%. Our investment allocation, we are looking for 150,000. With this money, we pretend to product inventor. We need to buy stock, to invest in showroom, and it's a 40%. Consulting and training is 30%. Marketing and branding 20%. Establishment 10%. Our super team has, as I said before, I'm Manuel Vernish, project manager or managing director and founder of CEO at SVT. Marcelino Fernandes is HSC training manager. Wesley is security product specialist, and Stuart Manamiki is quality manager. Our experience is over 20 years accumulated. Thank you. Thank you for your time. We care about you and we do safety. We remember the son of the God, the son of the man did not come to serve it himself, but he came to serve others person in the world. That's why we feel what we are doing is only to help others. Thank you.
Thank you. Obrigada, Manuel. This is a word to say thank you in Portuguese. We are connected by language too. So thank you, obrigada. And I'm gonna ask for judges now to do their questions, and we open the Q&A session. Thank you so much.
And well, could you give us an idea of how you're meeting your customers, and what kind of products are they engaging with first, and how you're bringing them in? It seems like you're doing that through the consulting and training, and then you get them to use the PPE, and then that allows you to develop ongoing relationships. Could you kind of explain more about that?
Normally, to meet our client, we have a business model inside of the company. We've got 5 ways to each step. It's generate and conversion rate, transaction, and find a margin. We prefer, as I said, we are a small company. We don't have a stock. All our stock depends on South Africa. As you know, Mozambique doesn't produce those type of PPE. I'm talking about PPE. We are trying to buy there and sell to them. We're doing risk assessment on our service to help them to understand what type of PPE they're gonna use for their industry. And we support them as well in terms of training. We always doing risk assessment for them to understand what their needs for such product or a service which are offering. That is the big difference between us with our competitor.
So do you feel that the training and the consulting are a key component to be able to build that relationship where they're getting your PPE equipment, or is it is a big revenue source for you to have the consulting or training? Can you give me a sense of how the percentages of those from as a part of your business?
Exactly. When we start as a company which are doing service and consulting. I'm talking about training and training and consulting. But when we had that problem of COVID, every training are cancelled. That's why we introduce PPE. We continue to be health and safety company, but we introduce PPE. I have got 2 scenarios. First of COVID, health training and consulting brought us 100% of our revenue because we didn't discover another area. But now we compare PPE, it's over 16% done training and service.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That sparks a new question for me, if that's okay, to stay in that space. What portion of your customers buy PPE? Are all of your customers buying PPE from you today? And is that a big opportunity you see to sell PPE to your current existing customers?
Yes, of course. Now I'm very engaged to supply PPE. Every part of my customer or my database, they are bought to me PPE annually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fantastic. So where has most of your growth in revenue come from the last 3 years? Has that been more consulting? Has it been more PPE or a mix of just new customers in general?
I can consider, for example, now the current contract which I have, it's a equipment supplier. It's MSA product. I consider it's my big revenue. But with your question, it's a PPE.
Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome.
Manuel, one of the things I would ask is, in the investment world, you want to see that someone you invest in has a moat around the business, something that, makes the revenue they have uniquely theirs. They're going to keep kind of getting that continual revenue, if you will. Do you all have a particular type of license that your business, your clients just recognize and say, hey, this is why we want to use SVT? Is there something that you all are doing that just makes you so needed for the businesses to come back to you, where they can't provide that training themselves internally or that consulting themselves internally, or why they would come back to you as opposed to their, maybe a competitor that you have?
Sorry, I didn't get well the question.
Maybe to simplify the question, why would someone choose SVT over a competitor or over doing that training or consulting internally as their own business?
If I'm not lost it, my client, they are looking to me as a complete company. They choose us because we understood. Hello? They choose us because they understood like we can offer them what they are looking for.
All right, and is that what they're specifically looking for? Something that you only provide with a particular certificate or license that you all have, or is it just knowledge of the space so deeply?
We have a particular certificate. That's why we are running this business. Has a local content. We are not allowed to run business without certificate.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. Well, meanwhile, the judges fill out the forms, the assessment. I'm going to share, and I'm going to invite someone else here also to share one of the coolest things we have on Earth. As Barahu told us recently in his presentation, we are kind of finding ourselves around the world. So capacity builders, people that are putting their life at risk. They're starting this faith-driven missional entrepreneurship space in their own nations, their own countries, and in order to be on mission and to transform our nations throughout entrepreneurship. And this is the very point where, in the moment where we are getting connected, we are building relationships regionally, nationally, globally. And I really wanted to invite here to be with me Sylvie Somerville. We've been together, working together as part of the global Synapis Global Network for the last couple of years. and Synapis has this awesome, fantastic initiative. We call it Forge. So Sylvie, please share a little bit, couple of words about what Forge is. We are coming to the 3rd edition of it, and I told Matthew recently, man, this is so cool. And thank you, Sylvie.
Thanks, Paulo, and just a huge thanks to the Bluefields team for putting this on. This is such a delight to watch all of your pitches.
Yeah.
And Manuel, thank you so much for your pitch. I was in Beira last year, and it's very exciting to see if the traction of our partnership with Equip Mozambique and Start Space. And yeah, really excited to see your business trajectory and where you're headed as well, personally. So thanks again for sharing. Very quickly about Forge. Many of you on the call already know about Forge, and hopefully most, if not all of you, have received an invitation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please email Karina, Paula, or me directly, and we will share with you an invitation. But basically, Forge actually grew organically out of, I would say, 2 big needs that Synapis and our partners were really trying to solve. One was we need to improve our collaboration as individuals and organizations that work with entrepreneurs, because a lot of the resources are very similar and all of us are cash strapped. So how can we better pool our resources to reach more entrepreneurs? And I think what Joseph from Egypt shared earlier about how their business is refusing to participate in corruption and bribery and taking a stand, and that being their missional witness, that's the heartbeat of what all of these organizations are really doing. How can we help catalyze more strong entrepreneurial leaders and support them and come around them and say, you can do this, and we're here to help you grow and change the culture. So that's what we're all about, all of our organizations, and Forge really started to help us do that work better. The second reason, and this is really relevant to those investors who are on the call with us today, was there's kind of a big divide between the money and the capacity building. And how do we remove this divide so that the capacity builders like Synapis, like Bluefields, like Equip Mozambique can help entrepreneurs get closer to what investors are looking for before they'll invest? And then on the other side, how can those investors really kind of find the right channels for investment and be encouraged to come alongside and support these fantastic businesses, not just based on ROI, even though that's a critical metric, but also based on the impact they're having spiritually, economically, in their communities. So Forge is really almost like bringing these players together and saying, okay, let's work better together, because we all have to be involved to make this work, to help entrepreneurs thrive. So Forge has essentially come from these 2 goals. This year we had a conference in Nairobi with 150 attendees from 35 nations. Forge next year will be in Romania, and we expect even more nations than that. So it's very, I'm not going to call it an unconferenced, I don't want to be too cool, but basically Forge is very non-traditional in that our main goal is relationship building, deep, intentional, trusting relationships being nurtured, fellowship and encouragement together. So we structure the whole conference to be very practical and very focused on creating that warm relationship building space. So it's not really just about the content, it's about the relationship. So very excited to have hopefully everyone who's on this call join us. At Forge earlier this year, we had a pitch event similar to this one that you're on now, which Karina also led, and just kind of an attempt to continue bridging those relationships throughout the year, give more and more entrepreneurs an opportunity as well to meet some of you investors. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you so much, Sylvie, to be of such an encouragement to all of us. And well, if you are following us and watching this on YouTube, we just you just can access Forge webpage. So put the webpage of Forge in the chat. So feel free to explore more of it, to sign you up, and who knows, we're together in the coming Forge event that's going to be in 2024 in Romania. So we are very, very excited to collaborate even more, building this missional ecosystem on entrepreneurship. Thank you, Sylvie. Karina, back to you. We have more presentations of entrepreneurs, amazing entrepreneurs to watch and see.
Yes, and thank you, Paulo. I'm going to invite the other Paulo, and it's from Brazil too. But we are so happy to have a Brazilian representative here in this pitch event too. So I'm going to invite Paulo from Zeta Dados. Please, the stage is yours. Whenever you want, you may begin and share your screen, please.
Okay, hello guys, hello everyone. I will share my screen, 1 second. Okay, so I will start here. So thank you very much for your time. I'm Paulo Jeremy, founder and CEO of Zeta Dados. I'm very glad to be here representing Brazil and also Bluefields. Very happy. So after a lot of experiences in the consumer goods industry, we founded Zeta Dados in 2020. We have successfully validated some pains with real and relevant clients. And some of our pains, first one, more than 40% of the companies believe that they are not using data properly. Second point, we have a lot of we have a lack of qualified team and process to do this internally with our clients. And third point, and very relevant, around 45% of the companies relates that this fact results in sales loss. So we have a lot of opportunities to use data to increase sales. And this market potential is quite substantial. In our client segment and model, we estimate at least $100 million in Brazil and $1.3 billion in the Americas. So we are talking about a huge market size. About our solution, so our clients, they are industries and distributors, and we help them to maximize their sales to the small point of sales. Our solution, we use advanced data science models, combining Zeta external data and also customer sources, and we deliver to our clients in different formats. So they use the data in the day-to-day business. To enhance Zeta solution, so we have a proprietary external data assets with more than 150 million registers that we update monthly. So here are some examples about our solution. In this case, this panel is accessed by supervisors and managers, and they use it to expand the number of points of sales in their operation. So about the formats, we have different types according to the client and users. Here's some examples of the formats that the salespeople use. Competitors, so we differentiate ourselves through the high data accuracy, and we are much more prescriptive from our competitors. Unfortunately, we have a lot of formal clients' feedback confirming this proposition. Speaking about our clients, we have worked with many relevant clients in Brazil and in Americas, and currently we are very focused in Brazil to scale our product next year. We are a SaaS B2B model with recurring revenues, and here are some of the current clients that we have. So when we talk about impact, as a founder and an active Christian in my community, I strongly believe, that Zeta Dados can be a special channel in our society, and we can impact employees, users of our clients, like salespeople, and we can proactively addressing social issues. We can help NGOs, for example. And here are some of the impacts that we have today. So we are working very, very hard on that. About the team, I'm very proud of them. We have a strong and extensive experience with them. All then they are full-time with Zeta, with vesting model, and they are working over 2 years in Zeta Dados, most of them. Regarding numbers, so we have a current MRR of $14,000, and estimate to reach closer to $31,000 in 24 in January. We have a strong roadmap. We expect to increase the market size with new geographies and also new segments. We expect to grow 3 times next year. And to reach these objectives, we are raising $200,000, and mainly to invest in product improvements and also to support our SaaS implementation in our clients. We have some angel investors. They are also very influent in our industry, and they are working in helping us in the commercial network. So I hope that you like it. Join us in the data revolution. Thank you very much, and God bless you, everybody.
Thank you, Paulo. Congratulations for your pitch. We were practicing for a while, and I would like to invite our judges to our Q&A session to, make those questions. Please feel free to ask.
Thank you.
All right, Paulo, for those of us who aren't...
You got it this time.
Okay. Paulo, for those of us who don't live in the data science world and maybe needed to come down a few levels from an education standpoint, give me like the ultimate kind of customer journey, if you will, from, hey, when I'm a customer, what is the need that, or a potential customer, what is the need that I have, and why would I want to essentially convert on to become a Zeta customer? What is the experience I'm going to have? Like talk about the transformation that's taking place internally from a sales process that's going to improve so drastically. What am I going to pay, and why am I going to stay versus a competitor in the market? Kind of give me maybe a great, prospect to customer journey story, if you will.
Perfect. So our main customers, they are industries and distributors. In this journey, they have some pains. The first one, for example, the industry have to activate new customers. No, so when they go to the street, with their salespeople, the salesperson doesn't have information or where they have to target. When they have the information, this information is not accurate. They have a lot of errors. The point of sale is not open. It's different from what they had. So we will help you with the right information with them. And when they arrive in the point of sales, they have to offer a product, a portfolio, and they depend of the salespeople to decide which product they will offer. So we help you with insights and recommendations, which product they have to sell for each different type of clients. And for example, we have information about income, about the pricing level, about the pedestrian flow. So we have models that differentiate these information for each point of sales. So the salespeople only receive the recommendation, and they can do the job that they have to do. That's relationship, talk with the buyers, and all these recommendations arrive much simpler to the salespeople, and that's interesting because in Brazil, in other countries, we have the same point. These salespeople, they are they are low income people. That the income of them is directly related with the revenues that they do with the point of sales. So when they increase the sales, they increase also the income of them. So we are helping these guys, woman, men, to increase their income.
Fantastic, thank you. So the power of story is key. So appreciate you sharing that.
That's good point.
Yeah, I have a bit of a follow-on question in that space. I saw a lot of variety in the customers, some multinational companies, some that were selling burgers, some that were consulting firms. What would you say is your ideal customer, and how many more new customers do you need to add into your sales pipeline to achieve your revenue goals for next year? I know that like some of your revenue this year might become recurring revenue next year, but kind of how many more customers are you hoping to interact with to reach your revenue goals next year?
Okay, Lucas. So our ICP, our target client, they are industries and distributors. In the past, we attended retailers, for example, but we were validating our solution. But today, our product is targeted on industries and industries and distributors. For the next year, we hope to achieve 15 new clients. As we are B2B, we have a high average ticket, no? And we have more or less five clients that we have open negotiations that we hope to close until December, and expect to reach 10 more. These 5 and more 10 and 10 more.
Fantastic. That's really helpful.
Okay,
Thanks for sharing.
Where I need really to understand two things. Is Zetados tapping into your clients' data streams? In other words, you're getting information from them and they're automating all of that into your product suite. That's the first part. And the second part is what is the revenue model that you're offering now, or you feel like is going to help you scale? Is it a per user seat? Is it a per month set price? What does that look like? Because if I understand those two, if you're in the stream of all their data and their operations, that's helpful. And then knowing how easily the revenue is coming in, or what it is each month, is also helpful on a per client basis.
Okay. Thank you for the question. First point, use client data, no, to apply in our algorithms, and also use external data that's comes from Zeta, and we put all this data together. We run our models, and we come back to the client, and they can access our models, and also we give you formats that the supervisor, salespeople can access the insights, the red insights. No? So we deliver as a database, enriched database, and also with recommendations to the sales guys, to the sales operation team. No? And second point, our model, we charge the industries and distributors as a B2B. Our price is monthly. No, we charge a monthly fee from them, and this fee varies according with the number of users. So if you have more users, you are charging more expensive. Or if they have low users, we charge cheaper. And if the industry have, for example, a national coverage, we also included the price of the external data that we put in our model. No, what we discovered, that the industry and distributors, they don't have access to this external data, but also we need to create a dependence from Zetados. No? So we created these solutions because they needed to use our models in day-to-day business. No, so with that we can charge a monthly fee. No, because to create a recurring revenues, we need to be important, no, for the client. No, so as we put together external data and also this process, no, that we do daily, no.
Do you charge the same amount for a local client that you would for a multinational client monthly? You add more services that would increase the price for the multinational as opposed to the local.
Yes. When we make the price, you know, the multinational, at the most of the time is they are national. They have 100 users, so we charge higher. No, when we have the local companies, usually they have low users. No, so naturally we charge lower. No, the local companies because they're not national and they have a low number of users. No. But we have a price policy with a lower margin for companies that don't have a high budget as the local companies. No? But the model is the same. What varies is the number of the users and also the margin that we put in our model, no? in our price. You know?
So the
margin
margin
is the same. No?
So the margin changes by how does the margin change?
We have a target margin of 50%, between 50 and 60% in our pricing. So if you have a local companies, this target margin is lower, but the rationale, the model is the same. You know, we put the number of users, the number of the cities that we are covering, but the pricing rules is the same. What we vary, that's the target margin for different type of clients. No?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Paulo, real quick, if you don't mind, let me ask a second question, because we haven't done this yet across the other pitches. You showcased a valuation metric inside your pitch of roughly, you know, it looks like you're raising $200,000 for 5% at a $4 million valuation, and you've got some angel investors who are already involved in the business. Monthly recurring revenue of $14K, which annualizes roughly $170K. Would be curious to hear how you backed into that valuation number, because if it's just a factor of a multiple on ARR, it looks like it's a pretty high multiple in terms of 23 times annual recurring revenue. So just, I think, helpful for everyone involved to hear how you kind of backed into your valuation number.
Oh, thank you for the question. As we have 5 minutes, I couldn't explain, huh? So here we expected to raise this money on January 24. So until that, we expected to have this MRR much higher. So we are open to change the evaluation if we don't reach, you know, these contracts. But we have at least 3-4 contracts that we are close to sign, you know. So that's the reason we estimate that we would close this deal maybe January 24, around there. So that's our estimation. We are very confident, no, that we are reach this MRR, but if you don't, we are open to vary our valuation and to update. No?
Helpful, thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Paulo. And if you want to know a little bit more about his business, we send also his link to know and to talk with him if you want to improve your data too. But so while now the judges will fill the form, I would like to present a video about Forge that we've talked several minutes ago to show you how it is by like real videos and how it was. So we're gonna share with you this video about Forge. And any questions if you have about Forge or about the business, please, you may ask in our YouTube chat and we'll be happy to answer.
Building great businesses is the future. That is where society can be influenced.
That poverty can be prevented and alleviated through faith-driven entrepreneurs combining with faith-driven investors.
The problems that are being solved by the entrepreneurs are so massive and so impactful that they will affect nations.
SMEs in Africa are the key ingredient to shared prosperity, to impact, and to job creation.
Indigenous entrepreneurs who grow profitable companies dedicated to Christ are absolutely essential for God's kingdom coming.
The work of Synapis and others that are building the ecosystem create almost a bridge, a pathway, a translation.
Can you imagine capacity builders united around the globe, generously sharing knowledge, tools, and anything that we have to help our friends succeed in their area of calling?
We have a dream to have a generation of Christian entrepreneurs leading the marketplace.
We can step in with hope and joy that we get to do kingdom building because we're designed for that. God created each one of us for those good works to step into.
Hey, we are back here. So this is Forge, a little bit about Forge. This is an incredible moment that we are together and we build relationships, and we are happy to share. And next year we've done in Egypt in 2022. This year was in Nairobi. Next year is going to be in Romania, because we also want to involve all the local community too, to get to know the entrepreneurs, what they're doing. And we're gonna have now our last, but of course not least, entrepreneur that's gonna present for us today is Dr. Stefan. And while we are finishing this part of filling the form of the judges about Paulo from Datadados, I would like just to test the presentation. Dr. Stefan, are you with us here too? Because it's...
Hi, Karina. Yes, I am.
Yeah, perfect.
Can you hear me?
So, yes, I can hear you. If you could just let's check if everything is right with your screen. Otherwise, we can share here for you too. But I think, yeah, is everything right?
You can see my screen?
We can see your screen, but we cannot see you yet. So if you could just look at your camera too. We're looking at a, if everything's right here. Okay, we can hear you, but we're still not seeing you yet.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see, everything's right. Yeah, now it's working, and you can just share your presentation and you're good to go.
Okay, thank you. Glad to be here. Great to see everyone.
You can just put in your full screen and you're good to start.
Yeah, sure. Okay, please allow me to just put on the screen, full screen. I'll turn the camera back on once we're ready. Sorry.
I think you close your camera, so please, could you just open it again?
Sorry about
the
that.
stream is working. You just take over your camera, so please, could you open up again? And then we're seeing your screen. You just need to put it in a full screen, your presentation, please.
Okay. So,
Yeah, and Dr. Stefan is from Synapis, Kenya. So Square everything begin, and we are happy to join them because here at Bluefoods, first we thought that in Brazil would be more similar than US and Europe, but we noticed that our culture and everything, how it works, it's closer with Africa. In fact, like our friends from Uganda, Kenya, Mozambique, and Egypt present. So we are excited to hear about Dr. Stefan business. Just please check your camera and your presentation, and we are good to start.
okay. You can see my screen now?
You can see, but your camera, it's closed. If you could just open up, please. You need to return to Microsoft Teams and just your camera is selecting the it's closed if you please.
Okay. Would you please allow me to just go ahead and then I'll turn it on again once we at the Q&A as we connect. Would that be okay?
Okay, that'll be okay. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Okay, so recently, Sarah and her husband had to endure a grueling 3-hour journey to travel to the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. Reason? To see her doctor. Suffering from long-term hypertension, she needed a checkup. Unfortunately, after spending hours waiting to see her doctor, because of the long queues, the doctor spent less than 10 minutes with her and ordered for a CT scan of her heart and for a change of medication. Because of the high cost of treatment and the exorbitant time spent at the hospital in Nairobi, they had to spend the night and travel back the next day back to her hometown to seek diagnostic care and medication elsewhere. The end result is that Sarah and her husband lost 2 days of work and are confronted with the repulsive direct and indirect costs of healthcare. My name is Dr. Stephen Ojwang, and I'm the CEO and founder of Premier Care Hospital Group, where we provide accessible healthcare to the underserved peri-urban communities by reducing the time, resources, and number of lives lost across a fragmented healthcare system. The problem with healthcare in Africa is that more than 80% of the population have to travel for over 2 hours to access quality healthcare, whose reliability is not even guaranteed. For example, at the community pharmacies in Kenya, where 70% of the population go to as their primary point of contact, up to 80% of the medication is counterfeit. Our unique hub and spoke model at Premier Care provides a one-stop shop for the different levels of care, ranging from community pharmacies, outpatient clinics, and diagnostic centers, as well as inpatient hospitals. Using technology and concierge platforms, this not only reduces the time spent for the upstream and downstream referrals, but also saves a lot of lives in the process and allows the salvage resources to be used to meet other needs in the families that we serve, like food and education. The locked-in revenues within our network and enhanced efficiency have allowed us to increase access and provide greater impact to the communities that we serve in. The healthcare industry has been growing steadily over the last 5 years in Kenya at an annual rate of 10%, and Premier Care is leading the way in providing medical care in the peri-urban communities and transport corridors where 80% of the population live. Unlike our competitors who mainly focus in the major cities or provide separately domiciled and limited services, Premier Care outlets are not only located much closer to the people, but are more affordable and provide a holistic range of services with its unique network of facilities. We've been growing steadily over the last 5 years at an annual rate of up to 30%, closing just under $1 million in 2022. And the good news is that We are growing and are about to grow even bigger. As we scale the model, we are creating 350 high-quality jobs, empowering our leaders to fulfill their purpose in life as we establish more satellites within the next 4 years in our midterm strategy. The jobs are not only allowing them to cater for their families, but are also supporting external supply chain models. We are reducing the healthcare access gap and increasing our market share 5 times with over 1 million patient contacts targeted annually by 2026. Our enhanced footprint will include 1 more strategic hospital near the airport, 6 satellite outpatient clinics, and 21 community pharmacies. This will increase our EBITDA from 10% of revenues to over 30% within the next 4 years. How are we able to do this? It's because we've done this before. Our team of co-founders, including my dear wife, Lois, who's on this call, and Dr. Diana Nyakoe, have been working together for the last 9 years. Our head of the pharmacy business unit, Dr. Louis Machogu, founded, scaled, and exited a chain of 50 pharmacies and is now a co-founder. We have an excellent team of advisors ranging from serial entrepreneurs, marketing experts, and experienced healthcare management and leadership coaches. We are currently asking for an initial $1 million in debt or convertible note from a strategic partner that will enable us to expand our existing hospital, access additional medical equipment, operationalize a new diagnostic center, strengthen our teams, and establish 3 community pharmacies. This is projected to increase our revenue further by a further 75% within the next 12 months and allow us to serve an additional 12,000 needy patients. If not us, then who? If not now, then when are we going to do this? Come and partner with us, and let's make this dream a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stefan. And if you want to know more about the business, please check out the YouTube chat. We are sending all the business links to you know them better. And now we're going to do a Q&A session. So, Dr. Stefan, if everything is right with your camera, we're still not seeing you well, but...
Oh, let me check.
You're going to open up
it should be on.
To make questions.
Sorry about that.
We can hear you well, so you may answer the questions. And I would like to invite our judges to make questions, and while if you be able to open your camera, we right, but we can hear you. So yeah, now we can see you. That's perfect.
Thank you.
Stefan, I'll hop in. First off, phenomenal presentation, and it's so evident to see how, man, this is such a kingdom business to go along with what could be a really, just fantastic business as well economically. I think one of the elephants in the room that jump out to me is as you're looking to bring this medical care closer to people in non-urban areas, is the telehealth conversation. Is there a telehealth kind of competitor you need to watch out for? Is that typically just not accessible for most of the Kenyan population in rural areas? And I know you can't replace the value of in-person medical care, but would just be curious to hear you riff on that for a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks so much for that, Richard. And we are actually participating in telehealth already, especially in our radiology services, because we, for example, have 1 radiologist sitting in 1 center and reporting for all the hospitals. So we are already in that space. And one of the things that we are very keen on is to continue iterating the business model, because with the advancement in technology, like Joseph was sharing, I love the experience of what he talked about in Egypt. Things keep changing every other day. So we are very keen to embrace new technology, even as it comes. And we are lucky that God has allowed us to to lead the way in terms of adopting new technologies. Initially, we've always been the first to set up diagnostic centers in the counties. We are now adopting newer models of doing ultrasound imaging, for example, and we are alive to the fact that there's a lot of telehealth and molecular imaging, which is the next frontier. Hence the reason for which we are fundraising. In the midterm plan, we intend to expand the telehealth platform so that then increases access, because especially in the peri-urban communities, Kenya has one of the highest internet penetrations within the continent, and it's something we are really looking to. And and I'm glad you asked that question.
It's good to see you again, Dr. Stephen. I know I was able to spend some time with you last Wednesday, actually, at one of your facilities, since you're not too far from me. Would love to hear. You're good to see you. Would love to hear a little bit about what you feel like is your target audience. Like, who are the patients that are coming to your facilities, and what part of the Kenyan market do they take part of? And why is that the right target for you and the specific advantage Premier Care has?
Yeah, thank you, Brady. So our target population is essentially what they refer to as the middle class and the upper class population, who unfortunately do not have access to diagnostic services. Those are the primary target population, who are within the peri-urban areas within the major city, or rather around the major cities and transport corridors. So the issue is not that they cannot afford to pay for services. They can actually pay for services, but do not have access to that. Does it mean that we lock out the lower income earners? The answer is no, because by virtue of offering specialized diagnostic services, they also come and we serve quite a bit of them. But our strategic positioning for growth and scaling is to target specifically the middle class population, who are really growing rapidly, and within Kenya they've been increasingly, and I think the rest of Africa as well, we have an increasing middle class population who do not have access to services, unfortunately.
Awesome, thanks for sharing.
I'd like to understand what the cost is to start each, let's call it a unit, a contained unit, each place that you're doing, because it allows me to understand what the investment is going to. Are you spending to try to create 10 more of these clinics or centers, or are you trying to get all the convertible note, the up to $1 million that you're requesting to support all of that growth up until 2026, or are you looking to build these centers and then from the revenues and the profits that you're getting there, reinvest that back into growth of other centers? So that's a lot of different thoughts I'm giving you here. So let me go back to the original one, just to make the original part of the question. Help us understand what the cost is to build one of the centers, and then what the operations are and how the profitability is each year.
Yeah, thank you. So to build we have it's a 4-tier model, and to build a pharmacy takes about $30,000 to be able to build a pharmacy. To build an outpatient, what we call an outpatient light, which is a hospital where patients come and go back home, and they have access to basic imaging lab and are able to see a doctor and a specialist. The cost, including for the runway period, is about $300,000. And to build what we call an outpatient plus, or a proper diagnostic center, is twice of that. The cost of building a mid-level hospital is also in the range of $600,000, $700,000 of setting up. And our model is that we are not very keen on the brick and mortar. We are keen on service provision, so that we leverage on the investment that we get to actually drive the revenues. So the profit margin ranges from 20% to upwards of 30%. And through increased efficiencies, we are really keen on making sure that we really focus on driving both the top line and the bottom line. So for the $1 million ask that we're looking at right now is targeted for the next 12 months to because we are a bit stretched at the moment. In our hospital, we have patients, but we may not have space for them. We need to reorganize a few things in the main hospital. So that's where 46% of the convertible note is going to. And we also need to buy additional equipment as well as strengthen our human resource. For the midterm plan, we are actually raising $5 million. So what the initial convertible note will do is that it will actually create a conduit for equity investment in the midterm. So it will actually sweeten and make the deal even easier for the investor to come in. So what we are raising right now is just part of that will then allow us to strengthen the existing units and do one extra diagnostic center and 3 pharmacies, which are a little lighter on the capex.
No, that's very helpful. I think that if I'd have one more question, it would be, what are some of the biggest risks that you think in growing over the next 3 years with is you're wanting to increase the personnel, from 50 to 350, and then you're expecting revenue to go up 12 times. That's a significant increase. Give us a sense of how you're thinking through to scale that with construction, with operations, with working with different personnel there.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a very robust work plan for that. So that revenue is going to come from 21 pharmacies, and we are working very closely with Dr. Louis, who bootstrapped and exited a 50 pharmacy chain. So it's going to be a plug and play kind of a situation. Of the outpatient units, of which we have, we've been running 3 of those. We intend to increase that to 9, and then one other hub within Nairobi, not far from the main city, so that we can have inward referral from 2 units that are already located near the airport. So the idea is that we'll go very organically. We suspect we may not. We'll do once we've done the fundraise for the midterm. We intend to then proceed growing organically from there. And I'll give an example of how we'll move from 50 to 350. Our pharmacies are unique because they are going to serve as primary points of care, but also as collection centers. So a patient like Sarah, who was in a town 3 hours away, she probably just needed to check her blood pressure and do some blood work, some lipid checkup that could have been done in a local pharmacy in her town. And then she didn't have to travel all the way. She could have been seen there, done teleradiology, teleconferencing, telemedicine, and then been able to get the help right there. So for such pharmacies, we'll have 3 staff. We'll have 2 staff for each pharmacy, one being a pharmacist and the other person being a lab trained person. And we'll start with an initial 3. For this year, we are targeted 3. So out of those 3, we'll be mentoring because we believe strongly in leadership. We'll mentor another 3 pharmacists who will then next year be able to launch another 3 pharmacies. So that then will translate into 6 pharmacies next year. So of the new 6 pharmacies that we'll have next year, it means we'll have an opportunity to mentor 6 other leaders, actually 12, because there are 2 staff per unit. We'll just work with them through an internship program. We may not have to pay them, but there are a lot of unemployed young pharmacists. We probably just encourage them to come and learn fast on the job, so that in the next year, then we double that to 12, so that you'll have 12 plus 6 in the 3rd year. That's 18. So we have an iteration of about 21 pharmacies by the 4th year. Each of those employing 3 staff through organic growth. we believe that once we've raised the midterm cash, we may not necessarily need another injection because the business will then be able to grow organically to raise more capital for growth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen, and thank you, Andrew, Brady, and Richard. We are so grateful for your active participation in all the Q&A sessions, and your input has been so valuable. Thank you sincerely. And as we're gonna finish the final form, we will transition for a separate room to deliberate on our top 3 business of the day. And meanwhile, Paulo will be guiding our audience through the capacity builders experienced in Egypt, Brazil, and Mozambique. Paulo, it's up to you.
Yes, so exciting, Karina. Well, since we wait the deliberation from the judges on the top 3 businesses that we all see and appreciate a lot of their presentations today, they are already all winners just for using entrepreneurship and their mission calling, their life calling to transform their countries and economies. So we are approaching the conclusion of our event now, which might, must be the eagerly waited moment for some. We will be closing, so we have final minutes. If you are in the audience, you have also you still have time to vote, but it's going to be shortly. So meanwhile, you vote. So you can find the link here and on the YouTube chat. So you gotta vote in your favorite presentation, your favorite business, and this is going to be a separate winner. So the business of the people or something like this. And meanwhile we do this, I will invite my friend Peter from Egypt. We have a funny story from last year when I was in Cairo. Peter literally saved my life of not being late for my flight back home. Otherwise, I wouldn't be how to get back to Brazil. So thank you, Peter, for that day in Cairo. We became friends and we are in the journey together. So let's hear from Peter about the impactful work that he and his organization Oasis is doing in Egypt.
Thank you, Paulo. Cairo is missing you. So I'll be brief. It's amazing hearing all these great businesses from all these countries doing these amazing stuff that are impactful. I'm Peter. I'm leading the Oasis Accelerator, which is an accelerator that have been in Egypt for 5 years now. So in these 5 years, we have started with the question of we really believe that businesses are power for cultural change, but to be able to do that, we really need to be able to push more businesses into becoming significant in their markets and also significant in their impact into their markets. So we said we wanted to do we had a mission of creating 20 to 30 purpose-driven market leaders in Egypt and the region. So we wanted to be able to create the next industry leaders who have great businesses, who are on top of their markets, and who are also shaped by the values that can make their businesses not just profit-making machines, but also impact-making machines. How we do that? We do that by 3 things. We do that by acceleration programs in partnership with Synapis, of course. We do this with mentoring and advisory. And also this year would be the first time to launch the incubation program where we had an idea stage program before, but now we're revamping this into an incubation program where we're accelerating the funnel of ideas very quickly from 80 to 5 in 2 months. And then for the 5 that ends the 2 months, we're going to also put some small seed money to make them get into the ground, along with some in-kind services like co-working spaces and so on. I would say in the past 5 years, we have worked with plus 100 businesses that are operating, and they are in early growth, because we have realized early that if we just focus on the businesses that have been in the market for a little bit over a year and also are making revenues more than around $30,000, we will be able to move fast into our mission of creating those 20 to 30 market leaders fast. So throughout the past 5 years, we have actually worked with plus 100 out of these businesses, and who are making collectively plus 500 million Egyptian pound per year in annual turnover, which is like around $20 million roughly. So we think it's just still the beginning. We're seeing a lot of the companies we have started with are moving quickly to become market leaders, even if they are not yet. So we're just very excited for these businesses while they're growing, how much they will be impacting their people inside the company and outside of the company, and also the norms of their industries, and how these industries are operating, and what are the ethics and values that are governing these industries. And also, we're excited to see more of those companies like get into the journey of becoming an impactful market leaders. So we're just working and hoping and praying that the next years bring about those leaders in Egypt and hopefully in other parts in the MENA region. Thank you, Paulo.
Thank you, Shukran, Peter. So nice to hear you. Yeah, thanks for what you're doing in Egypt, man. Everyone, our audience vote is now closed. So we're going to announce in a few moments where, the algorithms are calculating the winner. I can't wait to hear what's the audience choice. And I'm excited now, before listening more about what the guys from Go Mozambique is doing in Mozambique. I'm going to present Bluefields, what we're doing in Brazil right now. So let me. If Go Mozambique is ready, you guys can go first.
All right.
Please, John.
Thank you, Paulo. This has been a fun journey. We started Equip Mozambique in 2014, so we started in 2014, kind of more as a missions movement to empower and equip the next generation of Mozambican leaders. But we realized a couple of years ago that one of the major groups that was not really impacted was the entrepreneurs and the business community. So in 2020, we started to get connected with Synapis and Bluefields, and it's been a fun adventure since then. So Mozambique is one of the top 10 poorest countries in the world. From basically any metric, the average number of years of education is 3. And the GDP of the entire country, which, if you are familiar with the U.S., is the size of the East Coast from Maine to Florida. But it has the GDP of a small Midwest city, about 40,000 people in the U.S. at least. So we're focused on systems that create shalom. And I love the word and concept of shalom because it's not just the absence of a problem, but it's the presence of the way that God planned and designed things. And it also is kind of interfaith, intercultural. So many cultures have a tribal word and a deep concept of shalom, or the way that community should be. And so we're always looking for how do we develop systems that develop the country and the community as God planned it. Systems that really bring in the way that God wants things. So we start with the church, and then we work out to the community in the city. We're really focused on developing the church to tackle the largest problems that are plaguing society. And somewhere like Mozambique, there is a huge need for entrepreneurs and job creation in particular. So every year there's 500,000 youth entering the market, and there's only 18,200 formal jobs, we're really looking for not just businessmen. So usually when you talk business in Mozambique, people are thinking of the first kind of image here of somebody that takes a bulk of things and then sells them for a little bit more to the people in their community. We're really looking for that second picture, somebody that's creating value and wealth out of what they already have. So we're focused on building the ecosystem. And so this is for us, the entrepreneurs on a journey, and we're creating the stair steps to get there. So we can't make somebody successful, but we can at least give them the staircase to get from where they are today to where they really want to be. And in Mozambique, the staircase doesn't exist, so we're kind of building it up as we go. So we're focused on kingdom-focused ideation and validation of concepts and ideas, focused on training biblical values applied in emerging markets, which our conversations with Sinapis in Kenya and in Brazil have been really instrumental in doing that. Mentorship and community is an extremely important part, and then development and connection with local investors, and then international investors as well. So since 2020, we've done a number of hackathons, and we've had 260 people go through different hackathon events where ideas are presented, developed, and shown to judges. We've done early stage training for entrepreneurs, micro entrepreneurship training as well, and we've done a lot of research because Mozambique, there's not that much information out there, and the more information you have, the easier it is to de-risk business investments. So we're focused on research, and we did our first pitch event this year. We're hoping to do many more. It was very successful. And we're also looking to translate and grow knowledge for the local entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's translating from English. Other times it's translating the concepts from a Brazilian environment and context to a Mozambican one, and then networking through faith-driven entrepreneurs and other events that we have. So we're really excited, and every year our network and our community grows larger. And we're hoping to scale those micro entrepreneurs into the next small medium businesses, and those small medium businesses to larger stage and investment ready businesses. Back to you.
Muito obrigado, John.
De nada.
Fantastic. It's very good to see lots of things going on in Portuguese Africa. Let me then share my screen and share some words about Bluefields in Brazil. We've been privileged to convene you all together, and well, Bluefields, we got started in 2017, and we exist to bring life to the entrepreneurial potential, accelerating innovations for eternity, which means that if we're just here to launch and accelerate startup unicorns, those ventures that can be valued above $1 billion in less than 10 years of operations, it's too little. It's too little to the impact that we want. And well, we are missionaries that transform the marketplace. So we believe, yes, let's build businesses, but let's without crucifying our families and values. We believe in hard work, but let's rest. This is a biblical mandate. Take our time to rest. Let's innovate without forgetting we have limited resources. We need to take care of our planet. So we believe the new ideas of today are the innovations of tomorrow. So we believe what we're doing now is helping those entrepreneurs. They're going to be the businesses, the large businesses that will shape the culture, that will have a significant impact in our countries. So let's build in the present the legacy of the future. We believe in accelerating communities, so investing a lot of our resources in community building. And one of the communities we have, that's Blue Space, the broader community. We are over 1,400 people. And we've been partnering with Oracle, with Microsoft, and hosting our community events in their places. So we run a lot of remote events, a lot of in-person events, and this community is growing, and we are very, very proud of it. Throughout the time, there were 250 ventures that went through our programs. They are still active, 60% of them, which is more than a double of the local benchmark. They are still growing year by year, and they now make $30 million in combined sales every year. They created over 1,000 direct jobs, which we believe it's impacting over 5,000 people. And despite the fact, kind of unfortunately, we are the only faith-driven business accelerator in South America. In Brazil, there is space for so many more in Latin American countries as well. We are awarded among one of the best accelerators in Brazil by Startup Awards, which is the main startup innovation scene prize in our market. One of the things we do is sparks, where ideas come to reality. So ideas come in, and startups and ventures come out of this 3-month journey, structured in a gamified way out of 6 stages. So every stage we have a validation journey, and we go along with the entrepreneurs. It's a very hands-on kind of journey. And the ones that are, validating the ideas, we invite them and give sharing specific dedicated feedback to join the following phase. Each phase, they kind of unlock economic investment from Amazon, Microsoft. So things that it's not like cash, but things that wouldn't hit their budgets going forward. Like cloud infrastructure, computers, systems, CRMs, and platforms that they need to advance in their as they go and develop their businesses. We are now running, as we speak, the 10th edition of Sparks. So it's been a great journey of pivoting and optimizing. So this is the most optimized solution we have, and the ones that hit phase 4, they join our alumni community, where it's a lifelong community. So until they want to get rid of us, so we keep discipleship, we keep prayer groups, we keep connecting them with mentors, investors, and all the way through of this very journey. It's based on the Kingdom Business Framework. So we help entrepreneurs to strive on their business, but also based on a missional mindset and model. Well, I never ask you guys anything, so this is going to be first time. So please follow us on Instagram. That's Bluefields_Aceleradora, and it's going to be great to have you there. And I'm very excited about sharing about Bluefields. And hopefully our judges are back already from the separate room. Karina, back to you now then.
Yeah, we've just returned with exciting updates. And before we announce our top 3, I want to emphasize that our purpose here is not to foster competition, but to connect people worldwide. Remind us that we are all part of what God is doing as brothers and sisters. And I extend my gratitude to all the entrepreneurs for their immense courage and dedication in presenting to our auditions and judges. And additionally, a special thanks to our capacity builders, because without your support, this event wouldn't be possible. Thank you for selecting, preparing the entrepreneurs, and for being valuable contributors to your local communities. And just to clarify, our criteria to select our top 3 were Kingdom Impact, Market and Opportunity, Business Model, and Team. And now I'm going to share to you our 3rd place first. We are happy to announce that Uganda, Azali Yomoyo, are the 3rd place. Thank you so much, and congratulations to presenting all the impact that you're doing around the world. We are so happy for recognize and honor you, what you're doing. And Now our second place selection is DentaQuick. Well done. Super good job too. Thank you for telling what you're doing around Egypt and what you're doing probably around the world too, and Middle East. And before we announce the first place winner, let me first reveal the audience favorite. What do you tell us that who engaged more the audience to came here and support the entrepreneurs? And the first, the top audience favorites, SVT consultant from Mozambique. Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us here today and all the people that are watching us. And now I would like to offer Paulo the opportunity to announce the winner of the Global Pitch first place.
Fantastic. Well, listening to the prediction, I think the artificial intelligence is still calculating which winner is. So, yes. All right. So, our winner is Mac. Yes, that's amazing. Congratulations. And now we invite you to, share your feelings. Share to with everybody what you're feeling right now.
Sorry, it's a little bit late today now, so
Yeah, thanks.
well,
Thanks for being here in the middle of the night.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something I didn't expect, so thank you very much for announcing, so I'm kind of speechless right now, actually, so yeah.
Yes.
I hope to, obviously in Mongolia, entrepreneurship and kingdom is something quite new. And, I'm, as far as I know, I'm one of the few people who are trying to bring impact to the community as well as do business, so, I'm really hoping to do good and to the community and to the kingdom and as well. So thank you very much for it's a great honor.
That's nice, it's very nice. So Mongolia got the first prize. Yeah, congratulations, Mongolians, and on behalf of our friends here and Unleash. So it's a good way to honor all the hard, the challenging work you guys are doing, building the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Mongolia.
Yes, and also I'd like to express my gratitude to our judges and provide them a chance to share their final thoughts as we discussed about it, the winner and top three, and all the contributions around the Q&A. Thank you so much for engaging the whole event. And so please, you have a few moments to say final thoughts.
So I'll just hop in. Go ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead, Richard.
I'm the guilty party every time it seems to be that we have the conflicting microphone. So my apologies there. But Sana, I just want to say that clarity of business model, excellence in your business practices, and the opportunity to love on and delight your customers, suppliers, employees, vendors is just so clear. And so just I think that was a lot of our indication as to why we saw you as the winner today, but just encouraged by all of these business models. Man, what a privilege to see the Lord at work in the global marketplaces, and each of you are providing dignified work to your employees, and would just challenge you to keep going and press on.
Yeah, it's the things that we I think are the most encouraged by and we see is not only that you have a vision for what you want to do, and you're trying to create a model to do that vision, but it's also what you're doing daily. to execute it, and how you're doing business with your employees and with your vendors, and then even how that shows in how you're looking at your financials and how you're reporting it. Those are extremely important things, and we're seeing that come through. And I'll encourage you, but all the others in that, because when God's moving, we want to be able to follow Him, and that is sometimes a struggle, but it's always a blessing. So we hope to see continued blessing with you and everyone else.
I'm really thankful to get to be a part of this community. And I really echo everything that the other judges have said, and want to also just be an encouragement to the other businesses and founders that were here. What a diversity of business stages and products and approaches to the market, but such a consistent drive for seeing how the kingdom of God has transformed how you approach your business, being a constant theme through every organization that we got to talk to today. It just is such an encouragement to me to get to see that and be a part of this community and network. So a huge kudos to, of course, our first place winner, but then also every business that shared tonight. Really thankful to be partners with you from around the world.
Awesome. Well, we are just at the closure of this event then. It's only possible because of the power of collaboration, the power of unity, and it's very challenging as we talk about global collaboration within the whatever organizations. We have our daily routines and everything, and it requires a lot of leadership. So Karina, thanks for borrowing your leadership to all of us. You made it possible, convening these leaders, capacity builders, investors, entrepreneurs, audiences. So everyone that worked alongside Karina, thank you so much. I want to express my gratitude to all of you for turning into our global pitch event, and I encourage you to continue following each business and capacity builder and investors and group that you watched here. Stay here to stay updated. Stay tuned on this incredible journey, incredible work God is doing around the world. The marketplace is the mission field where we love people through entrepreneurial creativity. So being connected to these entrepreneurs, and capacity builders, investors from around the world is one of the coolest things of my job and your job. So thank you so much. Hope everyone has enjoyed being here together with all of us. Take care, and God bless you all.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Bluefields team. That was awesome.